walls.
Anyway, so speaking of how fucked up Scotland is and why we need to build a wall,
Auckland?
not proven
Not that has a
verdict will be...
solution. We just have to civilize the people.
Apparently we do. Not proven verdict will be
Yeah.
abolished for rape cases, and defendants will face juryless trials amid sweeping justice reforms in Scotland. Yes, the reform is we're
What?
removing the justice.
Yeah, you reform it so hard that it doesn't exist.
Yep.
God.
Oh, I like the first subheading there. Third option for jurors axed in bid to increase Scotland's low rape conviction rate. Wait, if they're innocent, they don't need to be convicted, you stunned cunts.
Well, they're not interested in innocence. They're interested in convicting people. We got to get those stats up, regardless of whether they did or not. Don't let useless things like the facts get in the way of convicting men for rape.
Yeah. Well, they're more interested in convicting white men for rape.
Yeah, clearly.
Not the diversity.
No. I'm reminded of that fucking cunt a few years back who looked up and said, "Oh, it's better to convict a few innocent ones so the guilty ones don't get away."
Cool, you're a rapist.
That is the exact opposite of a justice system.
Is that, what is it, Blackstone's law or something like that? Something's law?
What's that?
The better for 10 guilty men to go free than for an innocent man to be punished. I think at some point he rolled that out to 100 in guilty men.
Like
Blackstone's ratio? Is it Blackstone?
It might be Blackstone, yeah. I don't.
Yes, it is.
Most of the sum total of human... Okay, you got it.
Last, we presume an accused person's innocence until they are proven guilty. As the preeminent jurist William Blackstone wrote, better that 10 guilty persons escape than that one innocent suffer. This principle can also be found in religious texts and in the writings of the American founders. Yes, I believe Jefferson made it 100.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Jefferson. But, yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
How far have we in the West fallen?
Yeah,
all the fucking way to the bottom,
Blackstone's formulation.
It's both, apparently.
Yeah, there you go. Blackstone's formulation.
Yeah.
Blackstone's commentaries, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Benjamin Franklin stated it as, it is better 100 guilty persons should escape than that one innocent person should suffer. Meanwhile, in Scotland, just imprisoned men willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unless they have the melanin of superiority.
Oh, for God's sakes, as part of the changes, victims will have a, quote, SAR to stand up for their rights. So not only are they making it harder to defend yourself, they're making it so that there's actually an active individual in the room going, no, this person is bad and here's why.
No, don't forget, a specialist sex crimes court will be set up. Yes. Is the logo on the door going to be a fucking kangaroo?
Yes.
Or the head of a drum.
Mm-hmm.
That too.
Oh, good God.
In the biggest shake-up of the legal system for decades, the centuries-old third option for jurors will be axed in a bid to increase Scotland's low rape conviction rate. Right, conviction rate.
Because Hamza fucking Yusuf is right up there making sure that it's white victims who suffer the most.
Yeah.
Yes. Anti-rape campaigns. Sorry, who are the pro-rape campaigners and why are they from Pakistan?
Yeah.
Who the fuck are the pro-rape campaigners?
Yeah.
Rochdale. Sorry, I had something in my throat there. Telford. Rochdale. Rotherham. Yeah.
Yep.
It's almost like we need to go Rumble exclusive for some of us to really go full bore on this.
So, Silly Bint, chief executive of Rape Crisis Scotland, said there's a huge amount of research and evidence to suggest that these steps will not only make engaging with the justice system easier for survivors, but to lead to more justice being done. No, there'll be no justice done, you dumb bitch. You're not asking for justice, you're asking for an increased conviction rate. These things are patently opposite. Evil.
You can get an increased conviction rate if you don't care about the facts.
You can get an increased conviction rate if You just let the cops make up evidence.
Yeah. Why even have laws if you could just round up, possible evil people and do away with it?
Well, that's it. We'll just bring back the sheriffs, get rid of the magistrates, and whoever the police don't like, they can just execute.
Yep. Yeah. I see Monkey is going full Stalin.
If
show me the man, I'll show you the crime.
But Scotland has abolished the social contract, therefore the Scottish people have no reason to not rise up.
Yeah.
Yeah, these steps will not only make engaging with the justice system easier for survivors, but lead to more justice being done. See, there's a great quote from a great movie that goes, "You keep using that word, but I don't think it means what you think it means."
That one being justice.
Yeah. Well, but they're focused. See, we've corrupted justice, so it means social justice, not legal justice. And I think that's playing into how they're defining things.
Yep. But Murray Etherington, president of the Law Society of Scotland, backed by the Faculty of Advocates, criticised the proposed pilot scheme to allow judges to try people for rape, which carries a possible life sentence without juries. This tradition of allowing juries is older than the United States as a colony.
Yeah.
Yep.
This predates the discovery of the United States.
This was laid out in the Magna Carta, if I'm correct.
Yes. Yep. I don't think it was juries for everyone, but I think that's where the "of your peers" part comes from. Because in order for the crown to take something from a member of the aristocracy, they must be tried and convicted before a jury of their peers, which is where the term peerage comes from as well. If not where it comes from, they're related terms.
Yes, it has the same basic philosophical origin.
Yeah.
Where
so what's Magna Carta, like 13 or 14 something?
I thought it was like 1278 or something like that.
Could be.
Yeah, it's damn near Dark Ages.
Maybe that's where I'm thinking century rather than actual year. But I think you're right. 1215 apparently.
1215. Okay. Yeah, I was off by 60 years, so.
So it's only 800 years old, but we'll just throw that out the window so that we can punish men without trial.
Yeah. And you have to remember, Clementine Ford exists, therefore this can exist as well in the same bullshit timeline.
Oh dear.
Critics of the not proven verdict, which dates from the 17th century, well, that's a problem, and it's not proven. Creates confusion for jurors that can stigmatize people amid limited public understanding of an acquittal. Yeah, I mean, that's fine, but
sure.
I remember, was it Justice Robert Bork here in the United States, where he was nominated to the Supreme Court, and they slandered him just no end. They slandered him.
Yeah, well,
he asked, after it was justified, where can I go to get my reputation back?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Not proven probably needs to go. Guilty or not guilty. But also, they also want to change the size of criminal juries from 15 to 12, with 8 guilty verdicts enough to secure a conviction. Sorry, 8 out of 12. 60%. You can't even form government with that lower vote. Like, fuck me dead. I don't think you can even change your homeowners association board with that.
No. Usually it's the reason in the U.S. that it's 12 typically is it has to be.
Shit. Scotland's even worse than I thought. Scotland is currently 8 guilty verdicts from 15 jurors.
Yeah. No,
Jesus Christ, Scotland.
Yeah.
Because in the United States, you can have one
Go
juror
ahead.
who disagrees, and it's a hung jury.
Yeah. Groups.
Yeah, and for a conviction, it should be a unanimous verdict.
Yes. Beyond a reasonable doubt. That's why not proven is it comes in. You have not proven it to our satisfaction. That's the bit between balance of probabilities and reasonable doubt. But no. The group such as Causing the Rape Crisis Scotland believe the verdict prevents victims getting justice. They say if it was ditched, jurors would be more likely to opt for guilty verdicts, helping to push up low conviction rates. At no point do they actually say that they want to convict more rapists. They just want to push up conviction rates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
And I also wouldn't bet on that, because if you take away that third option of it, we're not certain, then you're actually looking at more likely the jury would err ideally. And then again, it depends on who these peers are.
Mm-hmm.
On the side of, okay, well, I'm not 100% sure that this guy did this. I cannot vote to have him sent to jail.
Yep.
But, okay, Alan says, my dad got jury duty a while back. He did everything to slip out. Can you fuckers stop trying to get out of jury duty? Because if you idiots, if you wankers keep getting out of jury duty, the jury's going to be made up of Karen here. It's going to be made out of idiots and women. Sorry,
you're being repetitive there, Fez.
Yeah, it's going to be made up. It's going to be made up of idiots who are too stupid to get out of it or are politically motivated to screw people.
Yeah.
We need the smart, educated, employed people on juries so that Karen here isn't the deciding fucking vote. Because in Scotland, apparently all you need is 50%.
Well, remember during the George Floyd trial, the Chauvin trial,
Maxine Waters trial?
Basically said yeah. Maxine Waters, I think it was out in the street telling people, if we don't get the verdict we want, not the truth, not the fairest verdict possible, not a just verdict, the verdict we want, we'll, whatever it was. I think she might have even encouraged violence at that point.
She did.
Yeah.
But Maxine Pad Waters encourages violence every time she can. But
that's true. Yeah.
That's beside the point. The fact that it's basically, we don't have rule of law, we have rule of mobs in the West. And
speaking of
until
rule of
we
mobs,
want to address that,
a pilot for juryless rape trials was suggested by Lord Justice Clerk Stupid Cow after a review which found that jurists can have outdated attitudes to sexual crime. What, that you can't withdraw on consent 6 months later?
Yeah, Could you imagine if, say, Trim decided 3 months from doing one of the episodes of the Sultans here that he felt violated, and the things that he said were like, oh, didn't really mean those, so I'm going to withdraw my consent of being put on YouTube this way. We would laugh our asses off, but
yeah,
that's not the way things work with this system.
Well, the funny thing is, if he went to YouTube and said that, the episode would be yeeted.
Oh, Bleach just violated me. Someone call Scotland.
I spit on it. Just embrace it.
Oh, God. Oh, I'm dying a little bit again.
I've been murdering you all stream, Arden.
I'm not 100% over the sickness, so every now and again, yeah, the laughter will jostle something loose in the lungs, and it goes, I don't want to be in here anymore.
Do you have a sickness for the thickness? As in the Ham Planet episode?
Not that thick. I like a thick slice of ham, but not that fucking thick a slice.
You prefer Canadian bacon size, not slab of beef.
Yeah, I like a nice ham steak, but not a Ham Planet.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Irish curtain.
Right.
Yeah,
so these attitudes, these outdated...
There's a reference I haven't heard in a while.
These outdated attitudes to sexual crime say that the state said some may believe... Oh, pardon me. That wasn't my fault. That's because the carbonated beverage went down the wrong pipe.
I feel violated, damn it.
It's okay. I've got
I'm
written consent.
taking you to Scotland and getting a judgment.
So
against you.
anyway,
You take it to Scotland, you're just going to hear more of those noises.
yep. The study said some may believe rape myths. For example, questioning the honesty of alleged victims who do not fight back against their attackers. What, you mean like when a woman somehow shows up raped but has no signs of defensive wounds or force used against her, and she was seen making out with the guy the night before?
And she's like, "Yeah, I was really into this guy," to her girlfriends, and then suddenly she wasn't.
Yep. And she sends text messages saying, "I'm looking forward to our next date," after the alleged incident. That's actually fucking happened, and we have covered it here before.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus. Absolute fucking embarrassments. But critics fear this could represent the thin edge of the end of the wedge, preparing the ground for the end of juries in other cases, such as... Well, yes, it is. It's a life imprisonment on fucking rape, you psychos. You want one man deciding this shit. We figured out 800 years ago that was fucking stupid. Actually, I swear, actually, I think the Greeks had this pre-Christ.
Possibly. Very, very possibly. Yeah, it's like...
Wikipedia, tell me the history of juries. Let's look at the history of the jury. They developed in England during the Middle Ages and are a hallmark of the English common law system. Yeah, Scotland's abolished the rule of law. Needs to go. The word jury derives from the Anglo-Norman jur, sworn. Juries are the most blah blah blah. Well, that's not the etymology, you fuckwits. Oh no, Jesus Christ.
I mean, it is Wikipedia after all.
Yeah. Talentless hacks. Well, they don't believe in juries anyway.
No. They don't believe in truth either, but that's beside the point.
No, they don't. They don't believe in objective truth. According says he wants Scotland colonized by England, please. Not again.
I mean, we tried that once.
Here we go from the communist scum at the Queensland courts. Fast facts about the jury system. Juries have been around since the 5th century BC in ancient Greece.
Jesus. 2,600 years.
Yes.
Yep.
But no.
Yeah, the modern jury is from the Magna Carta. Okay, cool.
Yes. Well, did you see that in that article I was looking at?
Yeah, it was the next thing down, I think.
12th century.
So 1100s. Okay.
Yeah.
Still. So it probably existed codified in the Magna Carta.
I mean, Encyclopedia Britannica reckons that it was either in England or prior to, or was brought in by the Norman invaders in 1066.
I mean,
the English common law jury has been around for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
And these stupid cunts think that they know better to just get rid of it.
Stupid Celts.
Absolutely fucking moron.
Thomas Ross Casey, a specialist in homicide cases, said there could be more acquittals and more angry complainers. The exact opposite of what victims campaigners had hoped to achieve. Okay, I'm sorry. No, that's not the goal here. The goal of the justice system is to find the facts of a case and determine as closely as possible whether or not someone is guilty. If you cannot prove beyond a reasonable doubt that that person is guilty, you have to acquit them. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So Mr. Ross said the plan changes amount to terrifying political interference that could turn Scotland into North Korea. He said the pilot of journalist trials may never happen amidst a backlash against the proposals. There could be witch hunts against judges as opposed to kangaroo courts against men.
Yep.
Hamza Yusuf, now fully in charge of the kangaroo court. The dear leader, Hamza.
Yep. At the moment, you have 15 anonymous jurors, as they should be, but fucking 8 out of 15. What the fuck is wrong with you, Scotland? Fucking hell.
Monkey, answer for us. Dance for us, too.
But now judges will be under a huge amount of pressure to convict because there's a political agenda to push up the conviction rate, and those who don't do so will find themselves under a lot of scrutiny. Tony Lenehan, chairman of the Criminal Bar Association of the Faculty of Advocates, said the most alarming part of the bill is the proposal for juryless rape trials because it's anti-democratic. Well, that's never stopped them. They're communists.
Yeah, they're anti-democratic by definition.
Yeah.
Oh no, real democratic communism has never been tried. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Now, Base reckons it's all the whiskey.
Mate, all that.
Is that why they need 15 jurors? Because half of them will be so drunk they can't remember what happened.
And the other half are only just sobering up to remind them.
Worse, they're women.
Oof.
So they're not sober at all.
Someone who can't spell kangaroo says kangaroo courts are not justice. Juries are essential since the terrible all men are guilty, all women must be believed, are simply not trusted by the public, and especially juries. Someone else says, frankly, it sounds like the idea of being innocent until proven guilty in Scotland is being abolished for allegations of rape. A trial by jury, our peers, is the base for the whole judicial system. Yep. If Scotland's going to do away with the rule of law, that means they've violated the social contract, and Locke's got opinions on what happens when the government violates the social contract. In fact, who was it who violated the social contract and then the Americans decided that he could take his taxes and shove them?
I think it was another King the Third. Just saying.
Yeah. Fucking pathetic. So we've got more on this, I believe.
Oh, we've got morons on this, all right.
No, we've actually got someone who knows what they're talking about, if it would ever load, coming out to say how fucking stupid it is. Will you work, you son of a bitch?
No, I don't work at all, thank you.
There we go.
Welfare.
Just like feminists.
Exactly. Just not as mentally crippled. I'm just lazy.
So, ex-judge slams plans to juryless rape trials. Controversial shake-up of Scottish legal system is repugnant and potentially unlawful. Yes, this would be another good opportunity for Westminster to step in and go, what the fuck are you doing, you idiots? You can't do this. I mean, they stepped in over what's damn near nothing by comparison. Though I can't even remember what that was. The Scottish have done so much stupid shit recently.
That's because they're white.
Yes. So Lord Ewist warned that the proposals published by Useless Sack of Crap were a serious attack upon the independence of the judiciary. Writing in Scottish Legal News, Lord Ewist said, the work of the Park Courts is to be subject to review by the executive, and report of that review is to be submitted by to the legislature. This amounts to politicians treat the courts as forensic laboratories in which to experiment with their policies.
I keep wanting to pronounce this guy's name as Wist.
Mm-hmm. He also said...
More because I want to call it Weast, because it's how Scottish people shush each other.
Yeah. He also added that a court with a limited lifespan working under such constraints could not be considered an independent tribunal within the meaning of Article 6 of the European Convention on Human Rights. Well, it turns out that apparently the Europeans got something right, and maybe there is some value in them not actually doing Brexit properly. Or maybe they'll ignore this one while still allowing the European courts to interfere with deporting illegal immigrants. So let's see, what else did I do? The former judge attacked the power the bill provides for the Lord President to dismiss judges from the proposed sexual offences court without giving a reason. Oh, so he can get rid of whoever isn't doing what he says. Scottish Tory Justice spokesman Jamie Green said, Lord Ewis has delivered the latest damning verdict on the SNP's plans for juryless trials from within the legal sector. Any reforms must have the buy-in of the sector. Speaking of the buy-in of the sector, let me get this up. Google, you suck so much. SNP plans to abolish trial by jury in rape cases fall into disarray as more than 500 lawyers in Edinburgh and Glasgow vow to boycott move.
Based.
Fucking oath. Lawyers say the proposals would breach an accused's right to fair trial. Yeah, no shit. You'd have to be a retard or a feminist to think otherwise. Sorry. That's inciting retards by comparing them to feminists.
Yourself yet again.
You need to stop with this redundancy, Pesek.
Yeah. Absolutely fucking appalling. So yeah, now the bar associations in Glasgow, fucking Jesus, words, Glasgow and Edinburgh have said that they will not take part, which could scupper the initiative entirely. Good. Good. No judge should be a part of this. The judges should refuse. Let's... blah, 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 blah. So the problem with this is they also say they don't know of any member firm that would be prepared to act in a juryless rape trial. Well, that's fine. It's not like the SNP is going to allow lawyers for the defense either.
Lawyers? What? That's only for the prosecution, damn it.
Yep. Apparently so. So what else do we have? If you enjoyed this clip from the Songs of Chardonnay podcast, please consider joining us live at 2 p.m. London time every Saturday.